And I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah, pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods for 20 years. I do advanced contraception and abortion, as well as gender hormones, and sort of looking at the whole sort of schema of gender, sex, and reproductive justice.
So you've done a lot of work in this field. Could you just start by telling us?
Sure.
At what age can a child first begin to transition into another gender or identify themselves as a gender different from how they were born?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's research and data that show that babies and infants understand differences in gender. Some children figure out their gender really early, and the reason why we say, oh, that's interesting or important is because they're figuring out their gender identity is not necessarily congruent with their sex assigned at birth.
When the doctor sees the penis and says,
can someone call Cap? You're an infant, 0 to 4 months. The only thing you know is your mama's titties. What the hell? Like, you come on, you gotta listen to, like, you gotta be like, this does not add up. These doctor experts spitting out bullshit.
Bullshit.
As the sex of male, that's an arbitrary distinction.
Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life, that's not
But
correct.
nobody said male identified. I'm telling you what the fuck your body is.
Thank
you got a
you.
fucking
Why she
dick.
take it all the way over
Yeah,
there?
the baby can't. It's too young to identify with anything. We'll fucking get to that point. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
But she said telling a family that their baby is going to identify as male for the rest of their life. Like, nobody says that.
Nobody says that.
This is a male.
Yeah, and then fucking, and if he comes to turn into something else down the road, then all right, cool. But
they just like make this stuff
making all
up,
this
like
shit
adding
up.
all these words and
Male identified, sex assigned at fucking birth. There's nothing to assign. You got a dick, you're a man. You got a fucking vagina, you a woman. The fuck?
So what does gender affirmation care? You're a big proponent of. If we walk through, a child is sitting down with you, is questioning their gender. What's the gender affirmation process?
Affirmation means that as a pediatrician, as someone who says my job is to provide the best medical care for you, is I need to listen really carefully. And how I put it in words for kids so that they can understand it is, tell me your story. Where have you been in terms of your gender and your gender identity? Where are you right now? And more excitingly, where would you like to be in the future?
Have you ever met a 4-year-old who believes in Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone who believes that a fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the
Sure.
reality
Agreed.
that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not
He's a
real,
doctor.
To that child, they are.
When I see a child who, believes in Santa Claus, and then let's say this is a boy and he says, I'm a girl.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, so how could you take that as a reality?
I would say that as a pediatrician and as a parent, I would say how wonderful my 4-year-old and their imagination is.
What does that have to...
right, imagination.
This is depressing.
If I said that I feel a certain way, then obviously you can't tell me I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
But just because I feel that way, does that mean that it's true?
I mean, if it's your reality.
Yeah, if it's your reality.
It's truly like none of my business who you
So we all have our own
identity.
realities? What if I said, I want you to say that it's true that I'm a woman? Would you say that?
You're a woman.
I would also say that.
If you want.
Yeah.
I honestly don't care. Like, whatever makes you happy.
What's true to you can be false to me. So like, it's like.
What if I said that it's true? My truth is that you don't exist. Does that mean you no longer exist?
I mean, if that's your truth, sure. I don't, because
But you do.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that I do, then I do.
Well, but even if I said that you don't, you still do, because we're having...
Why are motherfuckers so goddamn soft?
I don't even, like...
Like, nope, you can just do whatever the fuck you want to do. And even when it includes me. Nah, hell no, bro. Like, I can accommodate feelings in that shit, but you're not about to fucking change my reality just because you want to feel some type of fucking way. Fuck that. And then gonna paint me as a goddamn demon because I'm not making you feel better about how the fuck you think you feel. Fuck out of here.
This conversation.
I mean, are we?
I think so. I mean, I thought...
That's what you think.
I should probably look to the place where truth is the foremost pursuit. The American University.
Oh, Lord.
That's where the crazy...
Yeah, that's where the crazy motherfuckers is.
What we do in gender studies is not just
Lord.
reduce gender to what psychologists might call individual differences, but rather thinking about gender. That's not women and man, but gender as a social form, something that kind of infuses itself into virtually all aspects of social life.
Let's talk about that then.
No, it's kind of off topic. It's still on topic, but it's relevant because we just went to fucking Rome, and I be posting all this shit, you know, highlighting trans issues and societal issues, and the motherfucker told me that the shit we're struggling right now with this gender bullshit is one of the reasons that the Roman Empire fucking crumbled, because they were so, everybody started fucking acting stupid.
My trainer told me that literally any time in history that this bullshit came up was the fall of like empires.
Yeah. Man, you see where we are now, shit's...
Uh-huh.
I guess we should start with, we've got gender and sex, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two? Is there a difference?
I saw that in your questions and I thought, my goodness, this is what we spend an entire semester kind of thinking through. But what we tend to think about in the social sciences today is that sex refers to a set of biological characteristics and gender is a social construct or category. What I think is often misleading about that characterization is allowed to be sort of messy and complicated. But in that framing, when you split them up into these wholly discrete constructs, studies scholars...
You can't provide the definition, you just keep talking. You just keep talking, bruh. Hey, what is it? That's
We're studying gender and sex. We're not talking about sexuality right now. In the kind of academic universe that I travel in is that we see how
a bunch of bullshit.
Ideas, cultural ideas about masculinity and femininity, maleness and femaleness, both in humans and in lots of other animals.
So are gender and sex two different things?
Well, I think that they both are and they aren't. I'm comfortable saying that gender and sex are two different constructs, but they're deeply intertwined.
Sex is not a construct.
We're talking about gender and sex, and there's a lot of controversies there. If we're talking about a trans woman has all of the male physical characteristics, so would that not be a male then? Couldn't we plainly say this person is a male?
Well, I guess it's like, why are you asking the question? I think I want to understand sort of why that's so important.
Who cares?
So if someone tells
Just
you...
to sort of understand reality, you know?
Well, I mean, I think when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. So if a person says that they're a woman or they're a man, then that's them telling you their gender is. I'm not so sure what social interactions would have to do with maleness or femaleness that would be...
I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth, you know?
You can't answer it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of like getting to the truth. Again, in social
You're
life,
uncomfortable with the language of...
because that it sounds actually deeply transphobic to me. And if you keep probing...
What? Getting to the truth is transphobic? And if you keep asking questions...
There's about to be problems.
This is a professor. Take the word, bruh.
Look at that. Look at that. That says everything.
And he's about to get pissed.
He's about to go off. I just want to know the truth, bro. You can't even answer the goddamn question.
I just want to get to reality. Well, why are you even asking that? Oh, I just want to get to reality.
Reality doesn't matter. All that matters is how the fuck I feel.
You want to get to the truth?
Oh, how dare you.
Oh.
Bruh.
That's it. You the devil.
Yeah. extremely transphobic to me.
And we're gonna stop the interview.
If I probe about what the truth is?
You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. I'm saying to you...
How is the word truth condescending and rude?
Why don't you tell me what your truth is, and you're walking on 30 seconds more of thin ice before I get up.
Why are you so triggered,
My
bro?
truth is, well, I don't think I really have a truth. I think that there's just the truth, like the reality. And so we should begin by trying.
He's like so cool, calm, and collected. He ain't fucking trying to disrespect nobody, but he's
At
getting
all.
triggered
He just said
because he
shit.
feels some type of way. Because he know he caught it. He know he talking about a bunch of bullshit. And you can't provide no answers, and you fucking just stuck there. Can't provide shit. You gonna get mad, and then it's going against what your narrative is, your agenda is. It's got to be labeled transphobic. Get the fuck out of here.
That's the thing. Can't have a conversation.
Can't have a
even.
fucking conversation.
Trying to figure out what the reality is.
Uh-huh. And why are you concerned with when someone else tells you that they're a man, or even if they use the word male, why are you concerned with not believing them?
Well, you keep bringing it back to, how do you respond in a social situation? But,
That's what I do. I'm a social scientist.
Well, right, but we're in a university.
Social
This is a
science
place
is
of
a bunch of
understanding
bullshit
truth, isn't it?
anyway.
Or,
Absolutely. We
But the
pursue
truth
truth, and I'm a social scientist, and that's what I do.
you just said the truth is transphobic.
That you would say, if you're saying the truth is that I get to say, you're not a man, show me your genitalia, that's transphobic.
No, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia. I just mean, someone can make a statement about...
He never said that. Put the words in his fucking mouth.
That's what
Never
they
said that
do.
shit. Never said that shit.
That's transphobic.
No, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia. I just mean, someone can make a statement about themselves that could be untrue. Like, for example, if I were to say that I'm a black man, would you accept that, or would you be skeptical?
You're gonna get pissed again. That's a
Are
perfect...
you black? Are you African American? Are you biracial?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't look that, and I don't think it doesn't sound like that's a genuine statement of who you are.
That's the point.
Okay, so that's my point. I could make a statement about who I am that's incorrect.
Of course, I think it's well established that human beings can lie, yes.
Or not even lie. I mean, I could just be mistaken.
Yeah.
I guess this all comes down to really one question.
What is the woman?
Especially women, gender and sexuality studies. So what is a woman?
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
What do you think the answer to that question
Bruh,
is?
stop deflecting.
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
This is gold.
A lot of like this where you're not answering, and I've gotten a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people you've interviewed have been reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
how have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
No fucking sensitive, soft ass
But not
pseudo.
even
Bro,
that.
he ain't did shit.
But
He ain't did shit. My buddy acting like he was in there saying, fuck you, you fucking
he
faggot
literally
trans
is
ass.
sitting back, calm, asking I'm seeking the truth. What is a woman? Like
Can't even have a conversation.
all Buddy's been doing is just
Bitching.
porcupine questions. You ask a question, he just answer it with another question. That's crazy.
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic
That's
about
cap.
answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies, which is
So
the
you
work
wanted
that I do.
you wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
Do you know what a circular definition is?
I do.
It's sort of like what you're doing right now, where a woman is a woman.
Mm-hmm. Because you're seeking what we would call in my field of work an essentialist definition of gender. I think it sounds like you would like me to give you a set of biological or cultural characteristics that are associated with one gender or the other.
I'm not seeking any type of definition. I'm just seeking a definition.
Yeah, and I gave you one.
Well, now I can say I've been to college. Glad I didn't pay for
This
it.
is rough.
Is there anyone willing to give me a straight answer?
He's patient.
Ideally, somebody with a bunch of medical degrees on the wall. You're a psychiatrist, medical doctor, and you've done a lot of work in child psychiatry.
I think she's
What is transgenderism from a psychiatric standpoint?
The best way to approach it is by speaking about gender dysphoria, which is an intense loathing and discomfort with one's biological sex. They exist
a mental condition.
Anywhere between 1 in 30,000 people and 1 in 110,000. It's important to distinguish those people from what's happening much more recently, which is kids that never had any discomfort or dysphoria, as it's now called, with their biological sex. And then quite suddenly, as preteens or as adolescents, they come out and they announce that they are gender fluid, or they start to question their sex. So first, let's define the terms, sex and gender.
Yes, please.
Sex is biology. Sex is unchanging. It's based on chromosomes. 99.999% of the cells in the body are marked either male or female. Gender, on the other hand, is a perception. It's a feeling. It's a way of identifying. It's an experience. Okay, that's subjective.
It sounds like what you're saying is that if a man is male but thinks of himself as a woman, he's not actually a woman?
That's correct.
Male gametes. That's what makes me male.
Duh.
Your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
Your
Your sperm does not make you a male.
What about the 99.999 other cells in your body that is what makes you you, that are male? That still don't make you a man, right? What about your ball and your dick? Because I got a dick.
And then he even used the term male. Like, you know, gender is what the fuck is gender? Boy, girl? But like male associated with chromosomes. Female, you know, women, female, they try to make them shits different. Male is biology. Female is biology. So your fallopian tubes don't make you a fucking female. Your uterus don't make you a fucking female.
In reality, in truth, okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
The same truth that says we're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
If I see a chicken laying eggs and I say that's a female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry?
Well,
Does a
chicken-
chicken commit suicide? Let's
does that have to do
frame
with-
it, because you're trying to...
Chicken has sex like any
A chicken
biological
has
organism.
an assigned gender, but a chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
Now, I was told that really everyone
Insanity.
agrees with the current approach to gender and transitioning kids and all of that. And if you don't agree, that you're a dinosaur and a bigot. So, are you a bigoted dinosaur?
I'm not bigoted and I am not a dinosaur. I am
realist.
rooted in reality and in science.
Whose reality?
There's one reality.
Facts.